As usual, we were heading home along our favorite forest road. The trail felt perfect today, and our off-road rig was loving every bump. Suddenly, something caught our eye in the distance. Hard to tell what it was, so we rolled closer to investigate. Stepping out of the car, we couldn't believe our eyes. An abandoned sports car. At first, we couldn't tell what model it was, but one thing was clear. It had been sitting here for a very long time. And interestingly, at first glance, it even seemed like this car could have belonged to Ronaldo himself. We started a careful walk around. Every panel, every gap, every detail. We wanted to know exactly what shape it was in. The door finally popped open and, surprise, a gold chain inside. That's not something you find every day. I also spotted a dusty old wristwatch. Could it be valuable? What do you think? Drop your guess in the comments. All right, time to enjoy the rest of the wild treasures hiding in this time capsule of a car. The ignition key grabbed our attention, but it didn't fit. Weird. Why do you think that is? Maybe the owner was a Ronaldo fan, or maybe it even looks like this could have been Ronaldo's own Lamborghini. What do you think? The investigation continued full speed. Of course, we didn't forget to look under the hood. It became obvious the car needed real work. Some parts were out of place, and some were missing altogether. Wrench time. We started small, aired up the tires so we could safely move this rare car. Maybe it once even belonged to Ronaldo himself. Transport mission complete. The car made it to our base. First things first, a deep wash. It's always nicer to wrench on a clean car. Subscribe if you love a clean ride too. Minute by minute, it felt like the car was waking up. Years of mud and dust, gone before our eyes. This was no longer just an old wreck. A real sports car was starting to emerge. One final rinse, and we'd move on to the serious restoration steps. Inside the garage, it was time for the essentials. Alternator, starter, belt on, bolts torqued. After years of sitting, everything needed a firm hand. We reconnected loose hoses and fitted the critical parts back where they belonged. No coolant on hand? For the test, we topped it up with water. Perfectly fine for a first start in this case. Cables connected. First start attempt. The patient showed signs of life, so we went all in with a little garage surgery. Still no start. The engine cranked but wouldn't catch. We cleaned connectors, lubed what needed love, and blew out the related fittings. You could feel it. We were close. Cranking strong, but no fire. We reseated a stubborn plug and checked that tricky connector again. And It's alive. The first roar in years, a couple of strong throttle blips, and the scariest part was behind us. We couldn't shake the thought, maybe this was Ronaldo's very own car, and it just came back to life. We were beyond excited. Next challenge, the interior. It was packed with ancient dust. Vacuuming that mess wasn't easy. Some of it was baked into the plastics, but we'll fix that later. Subscribe if you want to see how we bring abandoned cars back to life piece by piece. The cabin started to shine, closer to the factory look with every pass. Cleaner, brighter, better. With the interior under control, we switched to the bodywork. We knew we couldn't make it brand new, but giving it a great look was definitely possible, and I thought, if Ronaldo saw what we did with this car, he'd be thrilled. Getting to the inner metal was tougher than it looked. We stripped things down so we could treat it properly. Welding is never easy, but we love this part. If you're rooting for us, hit that like. Rattle can time. Color matched as close as we could. Not perfect, but in here, nobody's going to notice. And it does the job. Reassembly. Montage. Clips, screws, align, snap. Everything back where it belongs. First drive is always nerve-wracking and awesome. The car rolled out confidently. We let it breathe outside, then got back to restoring the old plastics and leather inside. Want to know what magic product we're using? Tell us in the comments and we'll reveal the secret. Just watch this transformation. Details matter, like seat belts. It's extra satisfying to see them clean and looking fresh. Do you always buckle up? Let us know. Next up, the steering wheel and dashboard. Years of grime stood no chance. Foam on, wipe down, crystal clear results. almost at the finish line. Remember how the interior looked at the start? Now it's flawless. Seats, mats, everything. The car is a joy to look at again. I'm sure Ronaldo would definitely appreciate this kind of treatment for the car. What about you? Let us know in the comments. Would you want the same done to your car? Driving this beast now is pure joy. It feels amazing to give a car like this a second life. But here's the big question. Could this car have actually belonged to Ronaldo himself? Or was it just a fan's ride? We still can't figure out the truth, and we need your help. What should we do? Should we call him? Maybe send a message right now? Because if this really was his car, just imagine how worried he must be that it's gone. After all that hard work, we took a minute to have fun. Is it just me, or does this car have something in common with a football? Tell us while you enjoy these little tricks. Hope you enjoyed the restoration. Smash like, subscribe, and tell us what you think. We're rolling out in style. See you in the next adventure.